Maddie, first of all, well done on challenging yourself and timing your writing. And I think with more practice of this, you'll find that you can actually write, in an hour's time, you'll easily kind of write 3+ pages. You'll even push into that four and a bit page range by the end of the year because you'll know the content so well. And that's probably the challenge here in the next week is to pick 7 or so poems using that table that I gave out today's homework and really know those poems well. And that will allow you to draw Kinsella into your expository piece more often than what you've done in this sack here, which is not to say that that's a rule. You don't need to draw Kinsella in all the time, but I think the more that you can use Kinsella to bolster an idea that you're trying to get across, then the more helpful it is. So your piece here, and on the last page, if you turn to the last page when you get it and listen back to this feedback, you'll see that I've kind of drawn 4 boxes, and that's how I kind of break your piece up. It kind of seems to be in 4 distinct separate paragraphs. It seems to start off with a general comment about memory shaping a place, very general. Then it goes on to what Kinsella says about shaping a place, by using, in particular, reference to the poem The Silo. Then there's a paragraph about the creek up the back and what that means for you and your memories of that place there. And then it closes down with another general comment about memory and how that can leave us thinking about a place. And so your challenge now is to kind of create a more seamless and fluent piece of writing where one idea rolls into another, which rolls into another, and you're actually having something to say about the prompt. So really, you've started off with a general statement saying, oh yeah, how we feel about a place, and if we have good experiences, we'll remember it well, and if we have bad experiences, we won't remember it well. And then you've gone to John Kinsella and you've just given an example, okay? And then you've gone to you, and so you've given an example of a place that seems to have an ominous memory. You've gone to you and given an example of a place that seems to have a more beneficial memory, or a positive memory for you, and then you've wrapped it up with a bit of general kind of statements again about memory. And I think what you want to ask yourself when you sit your next one, look at the prompt and try and come up with 3 different ideas that you think about this prompt, okay? And then ask yourself, what does Kinsella have to say about this prompt? All right, so first of all, there's 3 things you got to ask yourself. What does the prompt mean, okay, in your own head? What are some things that I think, where do I stand in relation to that prompt? Do I agree with it, disagree with it? Could it go both ways? What are some points I want to make to show how I feel about it? Okay, and you want to kind of come up with 3 different points. Then the third bit is, what does Kinsella think? Okay, and what poems can I use? What references to Kinsella can I make to help me make my points that I want to make? All right, that's your kind of 3 steps. So you'll see on the back page I've listed kind of 4 pieces of advice for you. What I'm going to talk about on Thursday in front of the whole class is the use of the universal we, or our, or us. And I think, especially your first paragraph, you talk about how is what haunts us or brings us joy, our memories, the beach or park, we have the choice on how we respond to it. And instead of kind of using that universal and speaking on behalf of everyone, I think it's preferable to speak on behalf of yourself only. So rather than speak on behalf of all mankind by saying we and us and our, why don't you just nail it down to you? So I think the memory, our memory of a place is what, in my experience, memory of a place is what haunts us, okay? And I think this because, and really try and make it more personalised, and in that way, you're more likely to avoid preaching. It's going to be a more personal kind of response, and that way more powerful, I think, as a piece of writing. So come collect that off my desk tomorrow, but it was very well written. I look forward to seeing the next one.